We'll go up to that podium over there. You will give your name, you will give your address. The village attorney will show you some documents and ask if you object to them. The village will place their documents and their testimony in evidence. You can question their witnesses. You can put your own testimony and evidence on. And after all that is done, I get to make a decision. We normally have some fine reduction hearings, but we don't have any this month, and that's really good. Oh, there's one? Oh, well, never mind. Thought I missed it, but no, there's always one. Is it on an addenda?
Page 4 near the center.
On page 4. Or not.
Another copy. This one is.
Health safeties. That's not health safety abatement hearing.
Right here.
All right, so I need to get a new agenda since I'm not matching everyone else's agenda.
Sorry about that. We'll get you one right now.
All right, and then now that we do have a fine mitigation hearing, in that case, the people who are trying to get the fine mitigated have already been through a violation hearing and a fine assessment hearing. They are the ones asking for relief, so they get to go first, and then the village gets to go second. I think I've hit all the highlights. Please take it away, Village of Royal Palm.
Magistrate Amity Barnard, Village Attorney. We're starting on page 1 of the agenda. It's a status/fine assessment hearing. It's case 23-1067, Greenway Village Association North, Inc. is what the agenda should say before what it says currently. So the respondent's name is Greenway Village Association North, Inc. And I'll turn it over to the code officer.
Thank you, Special Magistrate. My name is Andrew Anthony. I'm the code inspector with the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is an order granting continuance and setting fines.
Is there a respondent here for Greenway or no? Yes. Someone signed in?
Go to the podium, please.
No.
I hope it's him.
For such a big dude, you're really soft-spoken. And little me, it's like loud. Well, I'm not that little. All right.
There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Were you finished? Start over
Yes.
at the beginning.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is an order granting continuance and setting a fine assessment hearing with a signed green card. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay.
For the record,
Carla Ramirez,
and your relation to the association?
with the management company, the property manager.
What was your name again?
Carla Ramirez.
Carla Ramirez.
Sure, not a
These are
problem.
the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order granting continuance and setting fine assessment hearing with the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is the division of corporations information for the association. Exhibit 3 is photographs which are dated.
You don't have picture volume issues. I think we have enough.
Can we go back to a few pictures, if you don't mind? Sorry, I didn't count on which picture it was. I apologize. Okay, this one. This one, please.
Yeah, we can get you copies.
Okay, perfect. So that's 1 and 2. Okay.
We don't know how to turn on
So
the
any
monitor.
objection to these documents being entered into the record?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
I'm having technical issues. Oh, look, I have pictures now. How exciting.
He did not have any objections.
All right, admitted without objection. You have a signed green card for service. I got to go look through 20 pictures. All right, code officer, can you tell me about all these lovely pictures that I'm looking at? What is the nature of the violations?
We have stained walls within the units. We have the chipping of the paint. We have the chipping of the paint on the overheads in the second floor of the units, and these pictures are both from Building 1 and Building 2, Special Magistrate.
Okay, and I see we have some, what looks like roofing tar running down the walls and other things.
Yeah, there's some pictures will show screens open. There's some holes in
Okay, I
the
see
roof
the picture on the
areas.
actual television screen. There was a flappy kind of screen there. Here we're having what? Just, okay. All right, so,
Fine assessment hearing, Special Magistrate. So your previous order required compliance on or before April 5th. So we'd like to hear from the respondent. You have the photographs showing the items that remain out of compliance. So we'd like to hear from Ms. Ramirez about what's going on from her perspective.
okay. So please tell us
Perfect,
what's
thank
going
you.
on at the Greenway Village Buildings 1 and 2.
All right, not a problem. So in regards to the exterior doors and these repairs, the association has already filed for a permit. I have a permit number. Those items, the signed contract and everything was submitted to the code enforcement officer. And I have a permit number, if you guys want me to share that with you guys. Is B as in boy, L as in Laura, D as in David, 16785.
All right, so we have permits at least applied for
That is
the
correct.
doors. We still have missing and torn screens in places.
Yes, I'm going to go through each
Okay,
one.
go ahead.
Okay. Now, in regards to the exhibit, I believe it's number 3, is the front doors of the homes. If you can keep going, that one, if you can leave it right there. Now, I've asked the code officer if we could have like a meeting at the building, because when we first got the fine or the implementation to get the doors repaired, we wanted to know exactly what doors needed to be repaired, okay? Because in the association, the front doors of the unit owners is the unit owner's responsibility. So the association can only repair the common area doors, so like the storage, the laundry rooms, and so forth. So we wanted to have a meeting with them to go over what doors specifically they wanted to have repaired. And we have requested multiple meetings with the officer. Our general contractor was there, so that way, you know, in regards to the holes and the structures, they're willing to come and meet with the officers. And I have not gotten a chance from the code officers to have a set date and time to meet at the building, because we definitely want to comply. And as you see, we already put a permit and everything else. And we have not received that back from the code officer for any meeting. So that's one of the items that, at least as part of the association, we would like to request tonight, is to have a date set and a time where the general contractor can be there, the door company can be there, as, you know, the work is starting to get being done at the community. We've also ordered some of the materials already to do those repairs. So that is something that hopefully your magistrate can help me get accomplished today, to have a meeting with the code officer at the building. Okay, I'm gonna move over to the torn screens. They have been repaired. So the association already, excuse me, hired a company to repair the broken screens, which has been done and completed. They also did pressure cleaning throughout the buildings so that they can clean some of the buildings. The association is passing a special assessment to cover for the cost of getting the doors replaced. They will be asking, I know that you guys would like to have the building painted or some of the areas to be, you know, touch up with refreshed pavement. However, they do have to pass a special assessment to get those items in compliance. One of our volunteers as a board member is also here tonight. She can confirm with that we are having a meeting to pass and get the assessments from the homeowners.
Now, you're doing
But
a
we gotta give
special
them incentive.
assessment for the doors, but you're also saying the doors are the responsibility of the individual
So
owners.
the common area doors, are going to be paid by the association that we need to do a special assessment for. The front doors, if the homeowners need to repair their front doors, that's why we would like to have a meeting, then I would like to have a meeting so I know which doors need to be repaired so I can notify the homeowners directly of that particular unit to get the doors repaired for, to the next year or something, whatever it may be, for the next meeting. Because I need to allow them time and give them notice on which doors for a particular homeowner. Some homeowners have new doors and their impact doors. Some homeowners have not changed the front doors. So that will be kind of the gray area. In regards to the common area doors, that's the association. They're working on that already.
Okay. But they've had a while to work on it. Okay. And what else do we have? Holes in structures? Because I see pictures that show missing and torn screens still, and you've said that they've all been repaired.
Yes, I
So
have a
who's right?
confirmation from the vendor that they have
I
been
mean, the
repaired.
pictures, my
That's-
lying eyes are your testimony. So,
That was from Saturday. I mean, we can definitely do a walkthrough because today is the 10th, but I do have confirmation from the vendor that was done and repaired.
okay.
Did somebody from your management company go out on site and confirm that, though?
That is scheduled for this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just to go over a couple of things, Dina had set up a meeting with you and was present on site and walked. I mean, it's a very small section. It's only 2 buildings. It's really 4 buildings, but it's 2, building 1 and 2.
Because I'm only 1 and 2.
Well, they're separated, right?
Yeah.
So technically, you could call it like 4 buildings, but it's not a very big piece of property. She was there and walked the property for over an hour and never saw you there, so.
Our staff was there too.
Well-
Dina has her phone number. Maybe they
Well-
couldn't find each other, but we never received a call from her letting us know that, hey, we're looking for someone, no one is there.
No,
Our
she
staff
wouldn't
was
do
there
that.
too.
Her phone number is her office phone number. She doesn't have a village-issued cell phone, and we don't call people. When she said she was going to be on site doing the reinspection at this time, that's what time she was there. And, I mean, she drives a big white
Okay.
truck with the village logo on it and everything, so somebody should have seen that.
But our staff was there, and I have a confirmation that my staff was there on that day to meet with the code officer. And then
Okay.
after that, I requested other meetings.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but I'm very well documented, and I can bring next meeting the documentation.
No, I know that you did, as well as Mr. Hill and I have both explained to you, we don't do that level of service for you where we walk you around each individual unit and point each individual thing out. That's actually the job of the property management company.
Yes, but sorry to interrupt, but when we're talking about doors, and I need a specification on what doors you're referring to, because if it's, like I said, a unit owner door, the association can take the cost of repairing someone's front door and not just a common area front door. So I need specifics from you that I would like to have to make sure that you guys are happy with the work that the association is doing.
Well, we explained to you that it was the rotten wood and that was around the laundry room area. This picture in particular that's up here, this is showing you that the door is stained. This is all part of the building being stained. So that all needs to be cleaned up. That's all part of staining, you know?
If you're giving me clarification, then if you need it clean, I'll be more than happy to get it clean
Well,
for you.
that should happen when they do the pressure cleaning of the building. That would,
Some areas did not come out, and Joanne is here when we hired the vendor. They made us aware that not every single stain was going to be removed. And I can submit an invoice from the pressure cleaning.
Okay.
Because the association did pay for that.
all right. And then you have here, well, like this, that doesn't really look like it's been pressure cleaned.
That's the inside of the unit owner's home. So we don't have access to the inside. Remember, we're a common area, so if you want an item inside of a unit, then I need to tell that unit owner, the city wants you to do
Well,
this.
all the buildings that are stained, and that's what we tried to explain to you. You guys need to walk around, and then if you guys have to cite the individual property owner of that unit, then that's, what needs to happen there.
Okay.
So.
So then do I present you the citation that we give to that unit owner, or are you going to cite the association for having that done when the association can take care of that item?
We've cited the association for it. So
But it belongs to the homeowners, so how do we go about that?
you guys need to go through and cite the people individually that are causing your violation. And then you have, like here, this is a scuttle opening, and then it's got an opening in it as well. And then you have, this is part of the painting, like this, that you could just have a vendor lift that up and close it, and that would take care of it. These are scuttle holes. They lead
So
to
then I'll
the,
be requesting all of these pictures for a copy to take with me afterwards, please.
oh, yeah,
you.
sure. Yeah, I thought we had sent you pictures in the beginning, too. These are the doors that have the rot around them
That
at the
those are
laundry
ones
room.
That the association is repairing, that the permit is in for.
And this is all part of the building stain right here, too, on the roof, there. And I was going to show you, I don't see that picture in here. There's little holes in the corners, like right up in here. There's like openings in there, and those are supposed to have screens on them.
Okay.
Otherwise, rodents can get in there. And the Greenway building behind you, 6, 7, and 8, they had that problem going on. So those need to be sealed up with like a mesh type thing or some type of plug. It breathes. Basically, it's supposed to have perforations in it. Okay?
One is screening for the holes.
Yeah, they have like little plastic covers or something that goes in them. You don't want to plug them completely up. They're supposed to breathe. All right?
Could you go back to the picture of the screen?
On these photos doesn't mean that's all of it, right? You may not have photos of every single.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
So just so you're clear, ma'am, when you request the photos from the village, the photos are representative of issues going on in multiple places, right? So I just want to make sure you don't request the village's photos and then clean or fix the items specifically in those photos that may not be photos of each individual hole that needs to be plugged. So
In general, I
right.
got it.
I just
Yes,
want to make
thank
sure you understand that.
Look at the screen right now. I have a picture from 4/6, which shows a screen flopping in the breeze here.
I see it.
And your vendors say it's been fixed. So I'm a trial attorney. I deal with levels of proof and facts. So prove it.
I'm
Prove
more
it's
than
been-
happy to send them a picture.
No. You are here right now in basically court. So you need to prove these things. You just don't get to say, I fixed it, because that's a hearsay declaration. Was that evidence 1? And, you need to come in with photographs showing you fixed it, or the vendor testifying that he fixed it, not you standing there going, the guy told me he fixed it, when I have a picture from 4 days ago that doesn't show it's been fixed. So all I can do from right here, sitting here, is say, I have a picture from the village dated April 6th that shows a broken screen, and I have no picture from you showing it's been repaired.
Okay.
I mean-
I understand.
That's your job as a property management company. Your job as a property management company is also to take care of all these lovely little things that are wrong, and you can tell what's wrong.
I've
I mean, it
never
doesn't
disagreed
take,
that it was wrong.
it doesn't
Never
take a
disagreed.
contractor's license to go look and see that the rotted wood is rotted, or that there's stains here and there. I mean, if you're leaving the residents alone, they probably enjoyed that, but it's also creating a problem for the association because you have buildings that look dilapidated. Okay? And right now, I'm here at a status/fine assessment hearing, so I bounced this once
Okay.
in order to give people time to do things. And when people have not done things or have not done things and cannot prove it to me, then all my empathy and sympathy go out the window, and I go straight back into code enforcement mode of, you were given some time to fix these, you didn't do it initially. I gave you additional time because a status/fine assessment hearing is something I make up to give you the opportunity to come in and prove that you've done things, and you deserve more time to do other things. And so far, what I've seen is you haven't really proved that you've done things and deserve more time. You said, I want more pictures, I want more meetings, I need more time, but you haven't done much, or you haven't been able to prove that you've done much. Correct?
You do have a file, a permitting file for the doors, so
And
that.
it's fine, you have a
that is
permit
fine.
applied
So
for,
The
but
association
that
is
does
trying
not,
to
that
do
does
the
not mean the permit is going to be granted, or it is being granted. Doesn't mean that you've given all the information for them to even be able to review it. So you're here late, asking for relief. I've already let it go bounce once, and they're here asking for a fine. So what should I do?
Special Magistrate, I was going to ask her, I heard her say that they have, the HOA has to assess for the repair of the doors. What's your timeline on that?
The meeting is supposed to happen within the next 2 weeks.
I know, but once the meeting happens, then how long does the process take?
The board is probably only going to give the homeowners at least divide that into 2 payments so that they can afford to pay for it.
I know, but how much time is what I'm trying to get at?
They're probably going to leave them maybe a month to divide it into 2.
So is the village going to extend some grace? Because I'm running out.
We would be willing to. I guess I would ask that the magistrate, if an extension is to be given, that it be bifurcated. So give a continuance, but on the small things like covering the holes and fixing the screens, those should be done as we're standing here today. So if a continuance is granted, I would ask those to be done in 30 days, and perhaps the one where the HOA has to get an assessment, give no more than 60 days to
will
complete
grant
those.
that.
And then reset this for what will be a fine assessment hearing. If it gets to the next fine assessment hearing, the village would not be amenable to further extension at that time.
Believe me, I'm done with the extending on this one. So if you're going to give them another one, that's fine. So they're giving you additional time, but this is when you come in with proof. You don't come in with, the vendor told me that he fixed it. You come in with photographs and all these other things, not requests for photographs, but photographs showing that they've been repaired and other documentation that you've contacted the unit owners and told them to fix these things. Otherwise, I think you're just stalling. So 30 days on the small stuff and 60 days on the things that require some
If
form
the
of
record could be
special
clear,
exception.
I think, and Supervisor Walker, can you help me confirm, but I think 6190A1, that's the exterior doors are in disrepair and rotting wood. Is that the only code section for the doors?
Yeah, unfortunately, 6190A1 also covers the screen enclosures, though.
Well, they say
also.
they fixed it, so that should be easy, so.
All right, so I'll put in parentheses then. So for 06190A1, as it relates to the exterior doors, we'd ask the magistrate to give 60 days to comply. So that would be comply on or before.
And the painting, right? You're giving them time for painting.
Yeah. So if we could do, let me just do June 10th.
Or the 6 what meeting?
06190A1, as well as the painting, which would be 6194.
All right, 60 days, that's at 6/10 or the 6 what meeting date?
That meeting date is 6/12.
Okay,
And again, that would be a
6/10,
fine
6/12.
assessment hearing. And then for the remaining code sections, 6192, 6193, 6189, and 06195A, as well as 06191A as it relates to the structure and screen enclosures, missing and torn screens, I'm sorry. That'll be complied with in 30 days. That's May 10th.
And that would also be the 6/12 hearing?
Yes, sir, we'll set them both for the same hearing.
And Carla, if I could ask you a question as well. So you guys are talking about painting, right? So when you paint, you're not going to paint inside the screen areas? That's up to the homeowner to paint that? That's going to be a problem because that is part of your exterior building. And they can't be different
Association,
colors.
Based on legal status, we check with the association's attorney. Based on that, we will need the homeowners, like each individual homeowner, to sign off for us to be able to go into their units to be able to paint. So they will have to work on that to be able to get every homeowner to sign off to have access to their units.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. Some areas, the association can easily just go and do, and some areas, we need to get the homeowner involved.
Yeah, because if you guys were to paint the building, let's say you wanted to update the color of the building, you couldn't just update the wall that's not inside the screen. You would be required to update the whole outside of the building. So, yeah, okay.
It's like getting every homeowner to sign off on
Yeah,
every
it's-
particular item, it's tough, yeah.
It's set up like that, so. Right.
Very strange, yeah. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
All right, so we have 60 days on the doors and the paint, 30 days on the screen enclosures and missing and torn and holes, scuttles. And what's the fine amounts?
The fine
25?
amount will be maintained at the 25 per your previous order.
Okay, on each. I will sign that, granted.
Thank you.
You
Thank
have
you,
a little
Mr.
more
Ramirez.
time. Get some stuff done. At least you can show me that you've done things if you're begging for more. All right, done with one.
Thank you.
Took a
Moving
while.
to the bottom of page 2, SIR violation hearings, case 23-1049, 10709 Fascination Lane, Linda E. Candelario. This one, yeah.
Hello, my name is Linda Candelario, 10709 Fascination Lane, Royal Palm Beach.
Thank you very much. All right, please proceed, Village.
Just give us 1 second, Special Magistrate. We're getting the file.
Okay, Linda Walker for presenting for Margaret Hancock. The code section 6190, parens I, tarp on the roof. This violation was observed on 9/29/23. It was sent 10/2/23 and delivered on 10/5/23. Notice of hearing was mailed on 3/1/24, and it was signed or delivered on 3/6/24. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation and USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing and USPS tracking. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
Thank you. You gave us your name for the record. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation with the delivery confirmation from USPS. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing with the signed certified. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership showing that you own the property. Exhibit 4 is sorry, that was upside down. Photographs of the violation. Any objection to the documents being entered?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
Admitted without objection. We have a tarp on a roof. Well, first we have service via USPS tracking confirms and a signed green card. Yeah, people usually don't put tarps on their roofs just for fun, so tell me about your bad roof.
Well, for the past year and a half, I've had an open claim with Citizens Insurance, and I've been fighting with them for a year and a half. And finally, about 2 weeks ago, they settled on the claim. So immediately, I went and found a roof contractor, and right now, they are in the process of pulling a permit. It's been submitted, and it's got to go through the pre-screening phase. So, like I said, I had to get a public adjuster. I had to get an attorney because the insurance company did not want to pay. So that's why I went that route. And like I said, after a year and a half, they finally came to a settlement, which was probably about 2 weeks ago.
So I have Citizens, so I'm really looking forward to this
Yeah,
hurricane
it's
season.
very
Okay,
hard. Yes.
All right, so this is the good time because you're here for a violation hearing. You've actually appeared. You have stuff going on. You actually have some level of resolution, which is wonderful. So,
Yes, I'm just tired of my house looking the way it's been looking. I want to do this and get it over with. I understand.
Do you have any documentation? Yeah, you just walked up with I saw some weird-looking physical sign or
I
someone's
have,
logo.
I have a letter here from my attorney stating that he did contact Miss Hancock, I believe it was.
Margaret, yes?
He emailed her. She kept citing me. So then he sent me a letter. I came down here and I gave him a hard copy of the letter stating that I'm still going through this process with the insurance company.
But hopefully we're close to the end, so good.
I have a copy of the roofing company that submitted the
Right.
permit.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you sure that they actually submitted the permit?
Yeah, I just spoke with the receptionist yesterday, and she said that they submitted it to the county. And it's in, she says she doesn't know how long it will take. She said every town is different in the county. She said it could take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks.
So with
So-
us, typically, you have a permit issued within 14 days, if
Okay.
they submit it correctly.
Okay, she said she submitted it to the county.
Well, we're not the county, though.
Well,
We're the Village of Royal Palm.
this is
Yeah.
part of Palm Beach County, though.
No, it doesn't go to the county, though.
You're both arguing about jurisdictions. You know what you're talking about, you don't. The county is just this overarching government that only works in pockets that are not in actual physical cities.
Yeah.
So your receptionist may have or may not be talking about what's going on, saying that it was submitted to the county. She may mean the city. She just may not
Yeah,
know.
she may be
Do we have
saying it wrong,
access
or
to
they might have
the-
actually submitted.
That's what she told me.
Yeah, we can't get into it, but I think we're going to give her enough time to make
No, we're
sure.
going to give her an extra 60
Yeah.
days. She finally got through the Citizens War. Hopefully that will give you enough time and you can get your permit passed and you'll be out of the code enforcement world. Because once your permit's passed, your tarp is golden. Okay? Your
Yeah, I
tarp is-
have a roofer set up and everything. I want to
No,
get
no,
this
no,
taken
you
care of
just-
before
you're good. So-
hurricane season.
I'm going to get your phone number, though, and then we'll check tomorrow and make sure they actually did apply with us. That way, if they accidentally applied for the county, you can let them know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so give me a date, like 2 meetings out.
Yeah, we're asking for compliance by July 8th or the July 10th fine assessment hearing, or $25 a day fine.
6/8, I thought it was
7/8.
6/12, or
7/8.
7/8. Oh, that's even better. All right, 7/8.
7/10.
7/10.
25.
25. All right, you have until July to get your permit issued. If you get your permit issued by July, then your tarp is an allowable thing. You are no longer in code enforcement problems. You just have to get it re-roofed. Please get it inspected.
Of course.
And then,
yeah.
once you're signed off, you're done with the village, at least in this regard. Okay?
Okay.
And you'll get
Thank
an
you
order
very
in the
much.
mail.
Thank you.
Next, please.
To the top of page 3, 23-1324, 246 Sandpiper Avenue, Audrey James.
377. Yes.
Very good, thank you.
And your name is? Oh, Linda. Okay, so if I don't answer, leave me a message and I'll get back to you. It's your personal number or the
It'll be
village?
my office number.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sorry. Okay, code section is 15141, 1571, trees or hat rack. This violation was observed on 12/21/23. Notice of violation was mailed certified mail 12/21/23. It was returned and posted. Notice of hearing was mailed 2/27/24. It was returned and then posted. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. And AS 400, information.
Pardon me?
Your name?
Audrey Jean.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the, give that one. Give me a second.
Audrey James.
Notice of violations with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the notice service. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership, just showing that you own the property. Exhibit 4 is a photograph of the violation. And Exhibit 5 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents being entered?
Yes, I am.
Just the documents, and then you can explain to the magistrate your side. Any objection to the documents being entered?
Yes.
Okay, what's your objection?
The tree that is cut is that picture is not what is there now. Is it?
So you're objecting to the photograph?
Yes, and I have some photograph.
Okay, we'll get those in.
All right, admitted over objection.
And I believe you have some photographs.
Okay. All right, you have service via posting. And the tree looks hat racked, so people don't understand the hat racking rules. So what would you like to show us in terms of photographs on your phone?
That these pictures are different. I just took them today to show you.
Show it to council, and council will show it to me.
Yes, right. No, that's not it. I get it. I guess I get it fixed.
And those were taken today?
Yes.
No, not really. I mean, it doesn't matter. The tree was not wrapped. They do grow back.
I
But
get
the-
it fixed, like, I don't know.
The tree was still hat racked though. So you either have to remove the tree or you have to have an arborist that comes in and says that the way this tree is growing is okay, or they may tell you that you have to trim it. So when you hat rack a tree, when you cut it off, the branches grow out from the side and they grow out fuller, and it makes the tree more top heavy and more susceptible to disease and falling over. Yeah.
Okay.
They do grow back for a period of time. They will grow full. That's kind of the problem. They grow too full, and then they become top heavy.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Magistrate, do you want to
So-
see her photos from today?
Sure.
Can you show him your photos?
Yes, please.
So did someone come by to trim your tree, or did you hire somebody?
No, the person I was somebody helped me because I couldn't afford it. I had to not be like $700-900. So I was in the hospital, so the person helped me.
Yep, okay, well, so
So go back, ma'am, to the microphone,
to
just
the
so we can get you on the
microphone there.
recording.
all right, so as far as I understand the rules of hat racking in Royal Palm Beach, is what, 3 inches? What's the rule?
It's if they make the cut and it's 3 inches,
Or
yeah.
3 inches or larger? So
On
they
the
can cut.
top. They could come back to the branch. They could have come back to the main leader branch.
All right, so they could cut a limb off a trunk, and that's not a problem.
That's correct. You could cut one
They
off
could
this
cut
big.
out the end of the ends if it's small and
Right.
less than 3 inches. But if they're going to cut the tree down to a certain point where the end of the limbs are bigger than 3 inches, that's not allowed in Royal Palm Beach, correct?
And actually, the picture that she shows, if you look at the picture from 224, it must have been trimmed even more from this to be the size that it is and so confined in her picture today.
Right, so in order for her to come into compliance, she either needs to have the tree removed or an arborist evaluate. Do you have a pen?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
This is the word you want, AR, spell this, ARBORIST, arborist. Is that correct?
That is correct.
An arborist is a tree specialist. You will hire an arborist to come by and give you a letter report, basically is what they do, that says your tree is okay to be cut this way, or you will end up getting fined by the village.
So if he comes by and he says that the tree is growing to be top-heavy, he may suggest additional trimming, or he may say it's fine the way that it is, or you may say, it can't be fixed.
So you need to hire an arborist to do this.
If you want to keep it.
Otherwise, the choice is to whack it down, which is,
And I can go over it more with you tomorrow if you want to come into our office. I'm in that office right there, and my name is Linda.
Linda, okay, thanks.
and Linda will help you through the
Yeah,
process.
I'll
They may
come
even give you
tomorrow.
the names of
Thank you very
arborists
much.
that they've seen around town. I don't know. I've seen them in files, that's all.
To recommend.
Okay.
The important thing for her is that it needs to be a certified arborist. So a lot of
Yeah.
times, tree trimming people will say that they're tree experts, but it needs to be somebody who's a certified arborist that has a license, that they're a licensed arborist.
Yeah.
Somebody did that to me. They told me they work with the city.
Yes,
And
you
it
have
was
to be
true.
careful of that.
Yeah.
And just so you know, too, if you ultimately decide to remove it, you need a vegetation removal permit. So get a permit before you take it out, or you're going to be in code enforcement for taking out the tree without a permit.
All right, we're going to give her till 7 to do this, July. She can figure it out. The tree will either live or die before then, but at least she'll get time to get an arborist. 7/8, 7/10, 25? All right, so you have until July to get yourself an arborist and get a report into the village that your tree is okay.
Come in tomorrow, I'll talk to you
And you
more
can talk
about
to
it.
Linda
Thank you.
tomorrow, and she will tell you what you need to do, okay? And you'll get
Yes,
an order
sir.
in the mail.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next, please.
Case 24-0089, 229 Park Road North, Fortuna J. Potsdam, Fortuna J. Potsdam, trustee, Fortuna J. Potsdam, trust title holder.
The code section is 6190I. The description is tarp on the roof. This violation was observed on 1/31/24. It was sent certified mail 1/31/24 and delivered on 2/2/24. Notice of hearing was mailed certified mail 3/5/24, and it was delivered on 3/7/24. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation and USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing and USPS tracking. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
Your names for the record, please?
Ardalan Montezero, I'm the attorney for Miss Fortuna Potsdam, which is the lovely young lady next to me.
Your name, sir?
Ardalan, last name is Montazer.
Are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence? Exhibit 1,
No issue with Exhibit 1.
no issue, notice of violation with the USPS delivery confirmation. Exhibit 2 is the same, notice of hearing with the same delivery confirmation.
No issue. No issue.
Verification of ownership. Photographs,
This was taken 1 to 410.
410.
Okay,
And this one was taken 131.
okay.
Any objection to these
Let me
documents?
just look at the, okay, yeah, no objection.
No objection? Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. So this is the story of the roof night. So
Yeah, and-
you're going to tell me the lovely story of the roof and what's going on
Good
with it.
evening, Special Magistrate and members here and City Attorney. Like I said, I represent Ms. Fortuna here. She has a Hurricane Ian claim. I represent her in that, and the claim is pending before the Honorable Judge Sherman here in 15th Circuit in Palm Beach County. We have filed a motion for an expedited trial due to her health and age to try to get a trial date on this matter. It's a partially denied roof claim with Tower Hill Insurance, and we have tried everything to get them to do the right thing, and unfortunately, we have to go into litigation. That's where we are right now, and I can give the case number if you guys would like. There's no blue tarp on this roof. We had it shrink wrap with a white tarp, so it's not an eyesore to the community or the village. There's 3 reasons for it. The first reason is she has a duty under a policy to mitigate her damages, prevent further damages. If she doesn't do that, she'll lose her case. Another reason is it's evidence for this trial that we're going to have in this case. She can't alter it or do anything to it because it's evidence for the trial. And if she does that, they're going to come up with a spoliation of evidence argument. And the third reason is if she doesn't have the tarp, her roof may cave in. It's failing all over. We had a structural engineer go out. He's opined that over 25% of the roof is damaged. It predates the 2007 building code, so it has to be replaced. It can't be repaired. There's multiple areas of roof damage there. It's an unfortunate insurance dispute. Hurricane Ian was a statewide declaration of emergency by Governor DeSantis. I also think the city of Royal Palm or the village of Royal Palm also had a emergency declaration. So Our request here is not to fine her, penalize her, to grant us a continuance of this hearing until December. I am trying to either take this case to trial by December or mediate it and get it resolved. But that's where we are on this. It's not a dilapidated, tarp on the roof. It's shrink wrapped on the roof. It's white. It's clean. We did the best we could under the circumstances.
Okay. And the village?
I guess a couple of questions. How long has the litigation been going on?
There was a prior, we had it filed in circuit court. Unfortunately, due to a technical contractual issue, I had to dismiss that case without prejudice and refile it. It was filed 2 months ago, and so it's about 2 months old now.
What was the original case?
I think 3 months.
Okay.
And due to a sworn proof of loss was not submitted. So
Okay.
we had to do that to comply with the law.
Okay. Sounds like a lovely technical requirement in an area of law that I don't care about. So pleading's fun. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to set you up in a couple of months to come back and tell us what's going on. So I'm kind of liking July for this. We're going to do a status/fine assessment hearing. You should be able to give me a little bit more detail or clarity on what's going to go on in terms of your litigation, your request for an expedited trial, things of that nature. As long as you are working towards this, I'm usually pretty good about the folks in roof litigation. It's one of the sad things I get to see here. At least it's not citizens this time, you're Tower Hill. So I will put you on there for 7/8/7/10/25 for a status/fine assessment hearing. You get to show up and tell me how you're doing.
Okay. Is there a way I could submit a brief or a document and supplement what the status of the case is in lieu of coming here, or?
Nah, you get to show up.
Come back and tell
Send
you.
your client. She'll tell us what's going on. And if you have a letter that you want to send along with her that gives us a status update, then she will be more than welcome to place that into the record. And if I were you, I would also get a copy of that to the code enforcement officer and ask them if this is good enough to get you some more time. And they're usually pretty understanding about these litigation fights. We have at least one per meeting. As you can see, sometimes more. We're kind of used to it. It's just a matter of getting it to a point where it's there. And you may also consider getting a permit for the roof, which would allow the tarp to be installed there for at least the 180 days of the permit, and you can renew the permits. Those are potential things to do down the road, but what I've bought you now is 2 or 3 months where you get to go do some things and see if you can make at least a trial appear or appear imminent or get a mediation date, which will give me an excuse or a rationale to give you more.
Yeah, I expect to have a trial order before that next hearing with you guys, so we'll get that.
Okay,
submitted.
that's wonderful, or at least if you're getting closer, you have mediation set up. I just like seeing progress. I mean, I understand litigation, believe me. I'm almost a 40-year graduate of, I get to go to court school. So, all right, 7/8/7/10/25 for a status/fine assessment hearing where we'll find out what's going on with your lives.
Do we get a separate notice emailed or mailed to us?
You will get an order.
LTU certified? Yep.
Due to Ms. Fortuna's health, is there a way I can just appear as her counsel without her being here? This is a,
We love lawyers.
okay. Okay. So
We've got 2 of them sitting here, so yeah, we're fine by that too. And hopefully by, the July timeframe, you'll like, oh, I got a trial date, something like that.
I'll submit if there's a trial order, or if there should be a trial order in place, I'll submit that over for the hearing.
Great. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Staying on the same page, 2 cases down, 24-0131, 133J Court, Lisa D. Haser.
The code sections are 15132, 6190A1, and 2317. The description: swale has bare areas, shed is in disrepair, parking on or over the sidewalk. This violation was written on 2/6/24, and it was delivered on 2/8/24. Notice of hearing was mailed certified mail 3/5/24, and it was delivered on 3/7/24. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification of ownership; and Exhibit 4, pictures.
Your names for the record, please? Your name, sir? What was your first name?
Derek?
Thank you. Village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation with the signed certified mail. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing, again with the certified mail signature. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership showing you on the property. And Exhibit 4 is photographs of the violation. The objection to these documents being entered?
The microphone stomach is growling. All right, signed green card equals service.
It's my cell phone's back there, so it's not my phone.
I see my bare spot here. I see a pickup truck over the sidewalk.
Don't have my phone.
All right, and on April 2nd, it was the SUV over the sidewalk, and it's a stain building. Okay. All right, so is that the shed in disrepair, falling structure?
To be
there?
honest with you, this is Margaret's case.
So you can only see what you can see.
Over, it fell right over.
Yeah.
We're taking it out, so
All right, you're going
Just
to,
haven't
okay.
had time to take it out yet.
it's going to come down. We're not going to keep it.
So you just bumped into it and fell down.
The wind just, all of a sudden, one day it just went, whoop.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why they do these cases, because sometimes the wind does that. I have a 1968 Jeep. I would have driven into it just for fun, just to see if I could knock it down. It's all crap. All right, so your shed is now no longer a shed. It's a pile that you're going to remove.
Yeah, it's just not sitting on its foundation.
Yeah.
So we're just going to.
Is it aluminum or is it steel?
I think it's aluminum, but I'm not positive. It's real thin.
So what you need to do is you need to go grab yourself a magnet and go see if the magnet will stick to the wall, and if it doesn't, it's aluminum. There's this lovely group on Belvedere Road called Palm Beach Metals.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Thing
Yeah,
over to Palm Beach
sell it
Metals
to
in
the
your
thing,
lovely
yeah.
pickup truck.
Forgot about that.
They will pay you money. You just need a driver's license, and you can just walk up there and you back your truck up, and they'll actually help you unload it. I just dumped 53 pounds of brass, got $100.
Okay, but there's a permanent pad there. Can you leave it?
So the pad doesn't care. They don't care about the pad. All they care about is the shed. So that's going to be one. So, you might actually make $50 out of the deal. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, not bad. It's not bad at all.
The parking over the sidewalk, you're going to have to stop that by rearranging the vehicles. I mean, I can see one of them gets parked in the swale, and that may be a pallet of sod would take care of that and try to just keep moving it. 'Cause
Yeah.
the problem is if you park in one spot, it kills it. If you move it back and forth, at least it has time to get some sun, some rain, and rejuvenate. All right, and since you're working on these, 7/8, 7/10,
If we could ask that July date be bumped up, because this one does require inspection, so if we could ask for compliance by 7/1 or the
that's
7/10
fine.
fine
It gives them-
hearing.
It gives them more time. Or actually, it doesn't take away too much time.
And just so that you know, as far as the swale goes, you cannot use any seed in the swale. It'll actually have to be sod. It could be Bahia sod, but you can't use seed because they don't want it washing into any of the French drains or any of our stuff. Yeah, that'll go into the
All right,
canals.
so you can either get Floortran St. Augustine for 200 or Bahia for 80.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. It just needs to be on top of that bare spot. And like I said, you're going to have to work about, and you can park in the road too. It's not illegal. It's just it has to be in the direction.
No,
actually.
the issue with them is they're very close to the cul-de-sac, so
Okay.
it might be a little dangerous for their vehicle.
Okay, well, that's
And
a
you can
danger to your
also
vehicle. It's not
park
an
in
illegal
the
thing.
apron facing the direction of traffic as well, or back up a little bit, so that you're not over that sidewalk, The apron is the approach to your driveway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Part
Yeah.
in the swale. That's what she's calling an apron. If you actually zoom back a little bit and look at it, that swale kind of looks like an apron.
Yeah.
Okay, see, we've learned a new traffic term. All right, 717-1025, and if you show up here on the 7 and you've got most of it done, I'll think of stuff. But these are fairly simple things, and you want to get rid of that pile before it gets real sweaty to get rid of it anyway.
Yeah, I just had so much stuff to do. We just had, her mom just died, so we're going through probate.
My sister-in-law just passed away too, believe me. The amount of work I have to do just on garage sailing, I mean,
We haven't even begun.
that 50 pounds of brass came out of her garage, and it was just going to be left there on the floor, and I picked it up. So,
It's a big house, so it's going to be rough.
so yeah, okay. Now, when you get your traffic situation figured out, you may want to put both of the trucks or the SUVs closer to the house and the car further down. You need to call for an inspection so they can say that you're done with that part of it.
Okay.
And I didn't say this to everybody, and I should have, but in my orders on these cases, there's only one bold part, and that says it doesn't count until it gets inspected. So you need to call for an inspection. I've literally seen people going home from these meetings fixing things, literally. But they don't get credit for it unless I either see it or someone comes by and looks. And you want something called an affidavit of compliance in your file, and that will take care of I've moved the shed. It could be a partial affidavit. I don't know. They'll work on it, but they'll at least go, oh, yeah, they've moved it. And they will at least have a date in the file for you.
So who do I call? Do I just call like the village, like 7?
You call the number on the order, which is code enforcement, and you're probably going to talk to Diane, who is going to talk to an inspector, who's going to come out in the next day or two, because they're really good about doing their inspections. Okay? So 717-1025, sounds like a load of sod, a trip to Palm Beach Metals, and just working on your parking arrangements.
So thank you.
Well, I bought my house when I was a single guy, and I bought it because it has a double-wide circular driveway, and I can put 2, 4, 6, I can put at least 6 cars in the driveway without getting close to the sidewalk, not counting the 2 in the garage. It's so guy.
That would be nice.
And it's a corner lot, so I can park in the swale like forever.
Now, I do
All
have
right.
a question. We do have a four-wheeler, and that's what's in that little stand.
He's getting rid of the 4-wheeler, so that don't matter.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
One last thing.
That,
You can have them. You can have a dead car in your garage in 1,000 pieces. No one cares. It's totally allowed.
like your back patio or on your, it's not really considered a vehicle.
Well,
If
you
it's
don't
on a
have to get
trailer,
rid of
it's a whole
them.
different story, but.
Yeah, but I have a 1968 Jeep. It's so much better than a golf cart or one of these 4x4s. It costs $250 a year to insure, and I can run over the top of them. All right, 717-1025, you'll get an order in the mail. Like I said, once you get some of these things done, call and have them come by to look.
Okay.
They like seeing stuff done. It makes them happy. All right, next, please. What? Is it, it's messing things up?
Yeah, that's what that noise is.
God, it's not even really doing anything, but okay, I like making noise.
Moving to fine mitigation hearings on page 4, case 21-0668, 11813 Dahlia Drive, Jana Wright.
Okay, come on down.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance. Oh, sorry. I'm a creature of habit. That's what that was.
And Special Magistrate, the fine amount in this case is $13,800. Your name, ma'am?
Springfield.
And that, you're the same as Jana Wright, correct?
Jana Wright, Springfield, yeah.
Okay. The question I ask everyone at a fine mitigation request is, why should the fine be reduced? So tell me why.
Well, because it seems like a lot of money for the, I mean, I was fined, but it seems like a lot of money for the fine.
All right, do you have a suggestion as to what the reduced amount should be?
Yes, 0.
Well, that's not going to happen, so do you have a realistic assessment? Because, this basically meant miscellaneous items, you could have cleaned them up sometime before $13,000 ran up.
I have cleaned them up. I have a friend
Well, you
who's,
had to clean them up or you wouldn't be here because they wouldn't let you come without an affidavit of compliance.
well, I have a friend here who's been helping me clean it up. And so I don't know what to say to you. It just seems like a lot of money.
Well, it is a lot of money. And unfortunately, it probably lasted for a good long time. And unfortunately, your neighbors probably had to put up with it. So what's a realistic amount we can talk about?
I don't know what you're going to say, so I don't know. My neighbors, my neighbors each have their own problems. And so, and I don't call on them for anything. I just, live my life. So I don't know what to
What's
say.
a realistic amount? Because I'm trying to be nice to you. You seem like a nice person.
Thank you.
But, it was a problem and it took a while to resolve and you could have resolved it earlier. So, I'm looking at $13,800. What is a realistic amount you can pay to get rid of this lien?
$1,000.
Okay. I'll do that.
How about 500?
No, we're not negotiating me down, but I will do 1,000. That's normally lien reductions are in the 70-80%, but I'll do this
Special
one.
Magistrate, just so you know, this was complaint-driven.
I'm sure it was.
So the village is not opposing a reduction. Our number was 340536, given the gravity of the violation, the fact that the neighbors were complaining, and the fact that the violation persisted for the time that it did.
Yep, and I'm still doing 1,000, but yeah, your neighbors were complaining about the mess.
It
And
wasn't ever-
the fact that you don't complain about their mess doesn't mean that, someone who didn't have a mess was making the complaints. I need a date to pay this by.
Conversation with me.
May
And,
5/10.
I don't know who would have complained about it. but-
Actually, they cannot complain anonymously anymore. I'm sure you could probably find out if you really tried. But I'll reduce it to $1,000, and if it's paid by May 10th, it goes away, and if it doesn't get paid by May 10th, it goes back to $13,800. Okay?
And I pay it here?
Yes, but you'll have to wait till you get an order, because until you get an order, there's nothing to attach it to, so they won't take any of your money.
In that office there, and we won't have orders till maybe, safe bet would be Monday.
Okay.
Monday's a normal day I come in and sign things, so
Thank you for your help.
you're welcome. Next, please.
Your next case is a health safety abatement hearing, case 24-0250, 102 Rivera Avenue, Mayali Cruz.
The code section is 2662F. The description, life safety pool is not secured. This violation was observed on 3/26/24. It was sent certified mail on 3/26/24, along with the notice of hearing, and it was posted. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Your name, ma'am?
Cruz, 102 Rivera Avenue, Royal Palm Beach, Florida.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation, is that page. Notice of hearing, the green card, signed, and then an affidavit as well. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing you own the property. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation with the date. Any objection to these documents being entered?
No.
All right, admitted without objection. Services via posting. I think we have a green card back here that's not signed but returned, so we have more service. And we have picket fence that's not very good.
Signature on the green card, it's just on the lower box, but it's a little bit strange.
Oh, okay, there is. It's So you have double service anyway. All right, so we have holes in the fence? Is that our problem?
I'm not disputing the issue. I really want to secure it and take care of it as soon as possible. I've had 3 deaths in the immediate family, and I've had to bear a lot of the cost. I'm still traveling north, dealing with a lot of this, and my husband's mom with dementia. All I could do is just ask for time. One of those deaths was my father, which we traveled a lot back and forth because he took a turn for the worse, and then he ended up passing. But if you could just give me time, I've had a lot of cost, and we're still traveling back and forth. We're taking turns dealing with our parents who still remain alive. If I could just have some time, 45 days, 60 days to get it repaired. We did, at one point, had a permit that we wanted to do some renovations. We did do the roof of the house. We did do the paint. And then all these things started happening. And then we've pretty much ran out of money and couldn't proceed with the permit that we initiated. But we still would like to get to that, but I understand I need to secure and take care of this now, which I would just like to have some time, just because we're just trying to get funds, because we're still traveling up north to the Carolinas and Tennessee, dealing with family members and what's happened.
I take my children to Wellington, or I took my children to Wellington Aquatic Center when they were toddlers to get them to swim lessons, because children die in Florida when they can get into people's pools. And I'm not going to let you have 60 days or 45 days to do this. You can go to Home Depot and buy some pickets for $1 or $2 each and plug these holes and be done until you need to fix your fence.
Okay.
Okay? There's a rule in Palm Beach, Royal Palm Beach, that you have up till 10% with these repairs, and you do not need a permit. So you can just go get some pickets and go fix this.
Oh, I thought I needed a permit for that.
No. If this
When you
is just
replace-
individual,
The whole thing you do.
Your panels, you do.
Which was what was included.
Hold on, sir. Sir.
not up there, and if you want to go up there and testify, that's fine. But what I see are just missing pickets that you can easily replace until you get to the point where you're replacing the entire fence.
I agree with you 100%.
So, and these pickets, I mean, you're talking maybe 10 or 20 pickets, it'll probably be like $40 max and a couple of nails.
I actually have them.
I can send a picture if I can tonight to someone. We just purchased some of them. The only thing is that we have been literally taking turns traveling.
It doesn't, I don't care, it doesn't matter, I'm protecting children from dying, okay? And your parents have passed, and that's sad, and I just lost a sister-in-law a couple weeks ago, so I understand these things, but you're not getting 45 or 60 days from me. You're going to go run out and get some pickets, and you're going to go throw some nails in there. This is like an hour, and you can get it to the point where you're not in trouble with the village, and then you're fine and dandy to do whatever you need to do with your family and to fix these other things later. But all you need right now are a bunch of Home Depot/Lowe's pickets and some nails.
No, he said fix other things.
No, put panels up is what he's saying.
I'm not saying fix the panels, I'm just saying put a picket in where the pickets are missing.
So in order to be compliant with the pool code, it cannot have an opening over, I believe it's 3 inches, it might be 4 inches.
It's 4 inches.
So when you lose a picket, that's big enough. So like where you see these big gaps right in here,
Right.
you need those
And a couple
pickets put
nails.
in there to block that off.
Okay.
I'm not telling you that that's going to make your fence nice and secure. It may be leaning, you may still have to replace it down the road, but we're trying to secure
You
it to
just
keep
want
someone
the
from
open
drowning.
gaps to be, okay.
Gaps just need to be
Yes.
filled. And all you have to do is grab I bought a nail gun to do
A
mine.
few of the panels, they're literally sitting in front of the
We don't
garage
care
right
about the
now.
panels, and actually the panels will get you in trouble because that
Oh,
may,
no.
Pickets.
I'm sorry, I
Pickets.
called it the wrong thing.
Yeah, panels are-
The pieces of wood.
Are 8 feet long, and they're already pre-made, and you'd have to slap those up. And then you have to do real math to find out what 10% is. Right now, you're just doing pickets here, pickets there. No permits are required. It
Okay,
just
I thought there
requires a little
was.
bit of
Okay.
time, and you're going to get all this done in the next week, okay?
Now, if the fence is, leaning and not real secure, kind of rotten, and it's time to replace it, you may still have to do that down the road.
But for now-
this is the immediate, secure the fence,
Okay, and I'm
make it
just trying to
safe,
save
'cause
kids.
it is a health, safety,
And this is an
welfare.
easy fix. All you have to, and all I want to do is see beautiful, bright, brand-new pieces of wood in those holes, and then when you're ready to knock it down and put up something pretty, that's fine. I bought a lovely nail gun, and I borrowed an auger drill, and I was able to do my fence. And it's been up for like 18 years, and every year I get to go pressure clean it.
I have a question on if you can go back to the photo just a minute, where we were there.
What was your name, sir?
I'm the husband.
Okay, Brian Cruz. Cool.
On the left side there, the fence actually comes back down Rivera Avenue. We have a real good-sized incline there, where that comes over, that meets down to the sidewalk. The fence is 6 foot high, but when I come down on the other side, it has to step down really short. My question is, when I replace this, can I maintain my height around down on that side? Because our neighbors' lights.
That's a building department question. It's
Yeah,
not a
because our
code.
neighbors' lights, when we're in our family room, are just blinding because they meet like right at the top of the fence.
Well, it can't be more, I'm talking, it can't be from the grade.
So if your grade
Is lower.
goes down,
Even if you've got interference from another property.
Yep.
that's correct. You would have to
How can
do,
we get that remedied with the other property from being blinded at night from their parking
You
spot?
file a nuisance lawsuit.
A what?
You file a nuisance lawsuit against your neighbors.
You can't raise the elevation a little bit?
I can't make the elevation match with the one where it stops.
If
on
you
the corner.
raise the grade of the ground, you can match the elevation, but you have to raise the grade.
but they have to get engineering approval.
You can't raise the grade because it meets with the sidewalk.
Well, then you're just.
Code enforcement hearing, Special Magistrate. This is not the time for
This is not the
that.
forum for this. You talk to the building department about that. All I care about is fixing holes, okay? The lights and the neighbors,
Here's a video y'all knew about, if it could be done.
I do not know.
Is to do the grade, you have to get engineering permits, because everybody's property is graded so that everybody drains, and when you start changing that, you could affect someone else's drainage.
Okay.
So no one's allowed to fill in their property without.
All right, so,
Maybe you can come by our house one day.
no, that's not their job. Sir, you want to sit down now and be quiet, or you want me to make this fine right now? Okay, this is not, the engineering is us. You don't get everything solved here. This is code enforcement. I'm plugging holes. You want to fix your neighbor problem? Different place, different issue. Anyway, give me a date 5 days from now. It's pretty easy. It's going to be what, the 15th? 4/15 or 5 what?
No, we're asking for authorization to abate. This is a health, safety, welfare issue case. So
Well,
if
I'm
it's
going
not
to give them
complied,
4 or 5 days, or they're going to knock it down in abate. So you got 5 days, or they're going to come in and tear it down and put it up, and then they're going to charge you for it. So you've got 5 days, 4/15, and if it's not done by 4/15, the abatement will be allowed.
and then set it for fine assessment hearing on May 8th if necessary.
Now, do you understand what's happening here? You need to get this done in 5 days, or I'm going to sign an order that says they can fix it, and they're fixing it, maybe putting up a new fence, then they charge you for it. And they charge people $290 to mow the grass, so imagine how much this fence will cost you.
So as soon as it's fixed, call the code enforcement
You need to
officer
call them
as soon
the
as it's
day
fixed
it's
so they can come and
fixed,
inspect
so they
it.
can come by and certify that before April 15th. There'll be just call code enforcement. Call the number. No, I'm saying you have to replace the holes. Just replace the holes.
Yeah, but I may have to replace one more panel.
Well, in that case, you have to figure out the linear distance.
1 8-foot section.
I don't know, here, standing here today, I don't know, because I don't know what the length of the fence is.
See, you get 10% on a side, but I don't know how long your side is. All you're doing is raising more problems for yourself by raising this in this meeting. Well, you want to fix it correctly, you'll do that after you fix the holes. Just plug the dang holes, get it inspected, get out of trouble, and then work on all the rest of it. That's all we're trying to get you to do. All I'm trying to do is save kids' lives, okay? All these other issues are something for something later. All right, do we have anyone else left? I have a guy way back in the corner. Is he in, or is he just watching?
So you may need to be sworn in.
All right, sir, who are you?
He's here for page 2, Special Magistrate at the top of page 2. It's a fine assessment hearing, case 23-1282, 223 Ponce de Leon Street, Fitzroy O. and Pauline L. Darlington.
All right, Mr. Darlington, I have to swear you in, so raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? He does. Okay. You know, okay, go ahead.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, an order finding violation. Exhibit 2, the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are pictures. And Exhibit 4 are permit information from AS 400. And the respondent was at the previous hearing, established service, Special Magistrate.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, sorry.
Fitzroy. Darlington.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order finding violations. Page 2 of that order. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership showing you on the property. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. Oops. Sorry, these ones got upside down. And Exhibit 4 is the village's permit information. Any objection to these documents? No. Okay, thank you.
Admitted without objection. So, yeah. I live on Santa Monica. I drive by your house all the time. I never ever noticed any of this stuff until they pointed it out to me.
It's just pretty. That was on that street, so I don't know why these people keep on harassing me. I don't know.
They're not harassing you, sir. They
I don't know
just
what it is now. Because
now, stop. Stop.
This is crazy.
It's not crazy. You got away with this for a long time because you have some good foliage here. You got away with parking that BMW on those rocks there. I know you moved the Beamer.
I'm moving, sir.
And if you look at that picture there, do you see a trash can? Your trash can is supposed to be behind your freaking fence. Do you put your trash can behind your fence? No. You put it in front of the fence where I can see it.
Because it's tomorrow's garbage day. I just pull it. I just leave it there to take.
This is a picture from March 29th. Is that garbage day too? See, you can't come up here and chuckle and laugh when you're doing stuff halfway.
Honestly,
I'm going to fine you because you're not doing things you're supposed to be doing while you're laughing at me.
Because it's so funny. Because I put the trash can is behind the gate. It's just what happened. I always load it. So when I load, I always have trash. I always have trash to put on Monday after. So I always load it and it's heavy. So I always just rest it there like the night before. Even today I loaded last night. I'm going to put it out today for the trash tomorrow. My
trash can is still behind my fence right now. It'll be put out later tonight. You know, it's not out there halfway. Here's your trash can on the 410. It's right out by the front yard.
But sir, it's not there all the time. I just put it, that's what I'm trying to explain. It's not there all the time. It's just like if I...
All right, let's get to the good stuff.
Okay, for instance...
All right, stop. The shed. Do you have a permit for the shed?
Yeah, I sent in I sent in the paperwork for the permit, and I move it. Everything I do, sir. Everything I do.
You got it?
I do the permit. I move the shed.
All right, so that's the big thing.
I fix the fence. Sir, I'm just finding it funny.
I don't find it funny at all, and I find that you laughing at it makes me less likely to help you.
I'm just saying, other neighbors, sir, honestly, if you look at my yard is one of the best on the street of La Mancha, well groomed and everything.
No, it's not.
Immaculate.
No, it's
and
not.
stuff.
I drive that road every day. I can see your trash now because it's been pointed out to me. I never noticed before, but now that I've been required to look, I look.
What's the trash you see, sir? What's the trash you see?
Well, the first thing I see is the trash can. But I'm not worried about the trash can. I'm worried about the big stuff. But you're laughing at me.
The trash can
So,
than being picky, sir. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just
You know,
trying to say,
you're just doing your level best to get fined. So let's see if we can do that. You got to keep your mouth going. Just keep it moving. Keep laughing and telling you how stupid this is and how little this is.
I'm not saying that.
You just,
I just see you.
Yeah. Just keep talking.
$13,000 to $1,000, sir. I'm like.
All right, so we have a shed without a permit that's being permitted. Is that right?
I put it in the paper. I just get the survey yesterday. The guy had to come and file all the paperwork.
Okay, see, if you weren't such a mouthy person,
It's not.
no, you're still talking. I probably would have given you more time, but right now you were supposed to have done this weeks and months ago.
But sir, I'm
Okay,
waiting on
next.
the permit.
The structure
I file
overhang
the
without a
paperwork.
permit.
I file it, but I put it in. It's not like I'm ignored. The last time I was here, sir, I told
Well,
you.
then that means you could get fined for a few weeks until it gets issued. You keep mouthing off. Keep going. See, no one really tweaks me like this, but you are. You just keep talking. Just keep talking.
Why you say I'm disrespecting you? Oh, am I
Because you're
disrespecting
laughing
you?
at things, you're calling them de minimis, you won't stop talking. So I'm trying to get through this and go home, but you're dragging me here by taking longer to do this.
Special Magistrate, if we could have the code officer just run through each
Yeah.
of the violations and give you an explanation, please.
Special Magistrate, the structure overhang built next to the house was removed. If you look at the picture on today,
So that's not a problem, right?
anymore. Right now, it's just the miscellaneous items.
Which are, tell him.
Underneath that chair over here, there's some pavers. Then he has some items on the side of the house. And yes, Special Magistrate, the shed, he submitted the permit, but it's still there without a fully executed permit.
But they told me, sir.
But it has to be permitted. That's why you applied for the permit.
It's not permitted yet. See, I could easily fine you for the time it takes to get permitted.
I'm not understanding what's going on because they said they told me the permit is not, the shed is not at the right place. I have to move it, and first they told me I have to move it before the survey guys can come and do the survey. Because if I do the survey, if the survey guys, they're gonna tell me to make the survey guys come back, and that's gonna delay the permit. Sir, I come here. It's not like I come here. When I get the citation, I come here before court. I come here about 4 or 5 times, sir, to come and talk to them. So it's not like I ignore the problem. I'm trying to get everything compliant. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like I come here. She know me. I come and talk to her all the time and tell her what's the state I'm trying to get. First, the shed was there. I had to figure out how to move it because it was already there. So I had to figure out how to move it. I figured out how to move it, and then I move it to where they said the shed is supposed to be. They put the measurement on my previous survey, and they tell me where to go. So it's not like I don't comply with them. I come and ask them everything before I do anything. So it's not like I just ignore. Every time they send me a letter, I come and find out what the letter is, the citation is about, sir. It's not like I just sit. I come and figure out what I need to do before I do it. So that's why I find it. That's what I'm saying. It's not like they give me a citation and I ignore it. I always come here and find out what the citation is.
Now, how many times are you going to repeat that?
Because I'm trying to tell you that it's like
All right, could you be quiet, please? I don't need to hear the story 5 times. The first 4 is enough. What's the village want to do with the shed?
Permit, and as was said, he's applied for the permit, but it's not been issued, so it's not in code compliance yet.
Good.
Right, so
That's what I'm saying.
this is a fine assessment hearing. The items
This is a fine
that,
assessment hearing, and he'll get the fine stopped when the permit's issued, right?
miscellaneous items, when all of the
Miscellaneous
violations are
items are cleared
cured,
out.
that's when
And
the
you've lost
fine will
all the
stop.
sympathy I normally give to people Because you're just so bad about talking.
Why you say I'm trying to explain the situation to you? Why you saying
Because you've explained the situation 4 or 5 times now. You're just running your mouth now to hear yourself talk. I'm trying to get out of here and go get dinner, and you're just dragging this out. You haven't moved the stuff from the side of the house. You haven't moved the stuff from here in the front.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Because they told me to clean up because those are pavers. Those are pavers for the stone to keep the stone so it don't go in the neighbor's yard. So I use it as a border. But I take up the other one that they say that the tree roots, sir. I take it up. I do everything that they say me to do. I do everything.
Back to the code officer. What's the problem with what's the problem with miscellaneous items?
Special Magistrate, if you look at the picture from 329, you'll see the chair with the pavers underneath. Those pavers are still there when I went there today.
Which pavers?
Underneath that chair. The tree is covering it up, but if you were to zoom in, you could still see it. He also has items on the side of the house on 329. Those items are still there.
Now go back to the side of the house. I like the Home Depot bucket in the front. Is that his? I think it was a different.
410.
I'm not sure which one. It was one of, there we go, 329. And there's also things stacked up against the side of the house, is that right?
Yeah, that's...
In that picture right there?
Yeah, exactly.
Sir, those stuff I moved to fix the fence. I moved that stuff to fix the fence that they say was in this chamber. I moved those to fix. So you can see it's not a permanent.
If you look at the picture from 410, it looks like those items behind the fence are still there.
Say that again, sir.
Look at the picture right now on the screen. It says April 10th. And if you look there, get back to the 410 picture. You're on 329. And 410, those items are still there.
Zoom in, but it doesn't zoom in.
329 picture, it's the white stuff behind the fence, leaning up against the house. They were there in the 329 picture, they're there in the 410 picture. You do not have a permit for the shed yet, so you are in violation of that.
Well, sir,
what's the fine now? 325 plus
I filed it, so...
Continuing.
650 and continuing is granted. Your fine will stop when you get the permit and you move these items. You have to call for an inspection. Move the things from the side of the house, move the pavers from the other side of the house, call for an inspection.
So, sir, you're saying, well, you're fighting it wrong?
I'm fining you for leaving stuff on the side of the house and not having the shed permitted in time.
Sir, you're not fair. Honestly, you're not fair.
It doesn't matter whether I'm fair or not. What matters is whether it's legal.
You're not fair. Because you're not fair.
Plus continuing is granted. This hearing is done.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We're going back to the first page of the agenda. Fine assessment hearings, case 23-0921, 908 Camellia Drive, Matthew and Jennifer Sparing.
Are we skipping Nefertiti? Set off.
So that the code officer can leave because we're bumping up against the time. Sure. So we're going to Mr. Armiente's 2 cases first.
Sure, let's do it.
They can go that way since there's nobody here.
Special Magistrate, I'd like to submit the following documents and evidence. The Exhibit 1 is the order finding violation. The Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4 is the AS-400 permit information. And for service, Special Magistrate, the respondent was present at the previous hearing. He's not here currently, but he was present.
And does counsel say that's good service?
Full service, yes, sir. But Mr. Armiente, can you also get on the record that the previous order was sent certified mail? Can you explain to the magistrate what happened there?
Yes, it was sent certified mail on March 18th, just never delivered.
Never signed
so when
for.
I checked,
It's not been signed for. It's not been returned yet to the village, but the respondent was present, as is reflected on your order. So there's actual service for today's hearing.
25 plus continuing?
I know this one was actually out for 2 days, so $50 in continuing.
50 plus continuing is granted.
23, same page, next one down, 23-1135, 133 Ponce de Leon Street, Vincent Jr. and Tricia Tinarella.
I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the order assessing fines in part and granting a continuance in part. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership. Exhibit 3 are the AS 400 permit information, and the order was sent certified mail March 18th. However, the respondents were present at the previous hearing for
All right, so you have
service.
actual service once again.
This one was out for 21 days, so fine of $525 and continuing.
25 plus continuing is granted. Okay.
This is a dead tree. Oh, okay, no permit. Okay, very good. Thank you. Now we'll go back to the beginning.
Oh, no.
What?
It's okay.
On this, their service?
Yeah, their service, you're right.
Okay.
No.
Okay, back to status/fine assessment hearings, 23-1088, 276 La Mancha Avenue, Nefertari T. Daly.
Okay, here we go. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information from AS 400.
All right, USPS track and confirm. You have service. And she was here at the last hearing. And whatever. What would you like?
Yeah, if we could, we're a little surprised she's not here, but if we could do a continuance on this, this is a similar issue. She's in litigation over her roof, so if we could do the same 7-8, 7-10, 25, 50 from your previous, no, I'm sorry, 25, it's right.
7-8, 7-10, 25, continued. Is it status fine again?
Yeah.
Granted. That goes, 1 of 5 is done. I thought this was going to be a nice short thing with 5 pages. No, no, no.
Page 2, case 23-1311 is being pulled. 23-1065, 107 Barcelona Drive A, BB and Jipshan Ramlakan.